Um,
Any particular
sorry.
questions right now before we start that I can answer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
on.
Oh, well, real quick, I can't find my character. Did you move it from my
Your character should be under the characters folder. So if you go to journal, under the characters folder, you should have your character.
right? Is not there anymore. But I'll guess I'll go with the other character then. That's still there.
Hmm.
So if you I see you're in the game. So if you look on the top right side, there's some icons. You click on the journal icon, and there's gonna be a bunch of folders. So the one folder on the very bottom, which says characters, that one has your character. Your character's Richard, right?
No, that's mine.
Okay.
Oh,
Who's your
I
character?
see it now. It's Team Crane.
Team Craig. Okay, there it is. Yeah. So there we go. All right. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes. What is Arkham? Sorry.
Arkham is a city. It's a city in Massachusetts.
Hmm.
Most of the stuff that happens in regular stories are is in Arkham. However, sometimes you get to travel. In this campaign, you're going to do a little bit of traveling, not too far though, but you're gonna travel definitely. And then ultimately, you can pretty much visit anywhere in the U.S. But just in this campaign, you're just gonna be doing a little bit of travel.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope.
No.
No,
All right.
I'm good to begin, I guess.
Perfect. All right. So you guys, um, let me see what your professions are real quick, just so I can have it up hand. So one is a boxer. The other one is a private investigator. Okay. And a soldier. Perfect. All right. So the you guys received, I mean, probably everybody in the town, uh, with the exception of Richard, because I think Richard is a private investigator already. So Richard,
Yes.
you we're gonna go ahead and say that you work for some sort of agency, and that
Okay.
agency ultimately, um, it's hiring currently. That agency is hiring due to the fact that there is some sort of strange things going on. People, particularly sailors, seem to be disappearing. And this is information that only you will know right now, um, Richard. So Richard will know this only at this point. And the reason why the only you will know it is because you are part of the investigation ultimately. So what happens is what you know up until now is that there is a captain that a fishing boat captain that that seems to misplace sailors. Somehow, something very strange is happening, um, to where his, all the people that are going with him, pretty much on the boats, are having an issue, and And when I mean I having an issue, I mean, they enlist, they work with him. But as of late, I want to say as of the last 2 months, more and more people seem to be getting misplaced. And to put it somehow, they're simply not returning back with him from the fishing trips.
Right.
So Richard will be assigned to investigate this in Innsmouth. And ultimately, the agency that is assigning you to investigate there is trying to get you to bring some backup for you. Mainly for your own security, mainly to help you with the investigation. And due to the fact that they don't necessarily need, you know, too many chiefs in one tribe, they're just bringing you as the main private investigator, and ultimately the other two people are just, to support you in your role, to mainly assist you in whatever you need. So ultimately, Jeremiah and Tim would have received this flyer uh, stating that you guys are being offered a job right now. That it explains that there's an investigation going on, and that you guys simply would be assisting with the investigation. You guys wouldn't necessarily have to do anything that has to do with the investigation, and that in the investigation is out of town. It doesn't necessarily state where, but the investigation can potentially pay up to $1,000 for just a weekend trip. So you will receive that, and that letter or that flyer will have a contact number and an address in case you just want to show up and enroll. It's up to you. Now, to make it more appealing, as a soldier, you wouldn't be making $1,000, probably not even in a year worth of work. Arrow, your boxing character, there's no way he can make $1,000 as an amateur boxer. So this will be really good money. So there's that. If you guys are interested, we can move on as to you going and enrolling.
Interested. I could fund several seasons of boxing off of just the one job.
No, most definitely. But at the same time, you also have to look at your, you know, every time you go into a fight, you're not necessarily gonna come out unscathed. Meaning that you're taking damage. You know. So this will be just money. Based on what the flyer says, this could be just money just for going out of town doing really nothing. So, and ultimately, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to go to that address and ask them, and they're probably going to specify exactly what are you supposed to do, if anything. So, are you guys interested in going to the address and hearing more about the proposal?
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're going to go ahead and say that you guys received that in the mail. Or maybe you were just out and about and they just handed it to you on the street. And that place where the address is and tells you to go, it's going to be, I want to say, probably 2 blocks away from where you guys were standing. We can go ahead and say that you guys were relatively close, not close to each other, but close to that area, doing whatever business your characters will be doing. So you guys arrive. You notice that there's not that many people there right now. Nobody has gone yet, maybe. So therefore, you come in. You see that this is an office. This is a private investigator's office. And it's a company that is running a privatized private investigator's office. And when you walk in, a receptionist greets you and says, "Hey, welcome. How may I help you?"
Job posting. I'm here to get some more information.
All right, yeah, sure, please. Come this way. I'll be happy to get you to. Um, I'll be happy to get you to the person that is going to have all this information and maybe can answer the questions for you. So she tells you, "Okay, please come in." She gets you into an office and tells you, "Please be seated."
Take a seat. I wait.
Yeah. All right. So there's this investigator that shows up along with Richard. They both come in. They both sit down on the opposite side of a desk, and the one investigator that is gonna start talking, his name is Tom Johnson. He's gonna say, "Well, thank you for coming and answering the ad so quickly. I mean, I didn't know we were gonna have such an amazing response. I mean, we really just started looking, and but you know what? Provided that your qualifications are good, we may be able to just stop looking. So let me tell you what we're looking for and what we're doing, and you can tell us if you're interested, and what is it that you normally do." He says, "So we have this case out of town that my colleague here, Jeremiah, is investigating. And right now, he is assigned to go during this weekend to do an investigation. The job will pay $1,000. You guys are obviously not having any kind of jurisdiction or anything, any kind of issue like that. But you are pretty much just to go to support him on whatever else you need, whatever else he needs. If there's any kind of trouble, you can help him. If there's any help that he needs with whatever, more like an assistant slash bodyguard, maybe."
Are there any dangers we should know? I
I wouldn't
mean,
necessarily know because I'm not necessarily from there. I would assume not, mainly because I haven't seen. But on the information I have from this, I don't know of anything violent happening. Pretty much, there's no. So far, there's no acts of violence that have taken place. But ultimately, people are people. That doesn't mean that you cannot get into a fight. Or that doesn't mean that I'm pretty sure that here in Arkham, you can possibly talk with a bad tone with somebody and you can get into a fight. So I'm sure you can get into a fight anywhere you go. But the what we are currently investigating right now definitely doesn't necessarily involve any kind of violent crimes or anything like that. And I'll be happy to share the details with you once you sign this contract, letting us know that that you want to go and take definitely take advantage of this offer, and then I will get you more details because ultimately you're going to find out exactly what's going on.
I want to specifically look at the small letters on the contract just to see if there's anything weird that
I'm sorry, say
they're
that
trying
again.
to hide. I want to see. I want to read the contract real well and see if there's anything that
Okay.
worries me.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much the contract is agrees to hire you for as long as it takes for the job to be done. It promises to pay you $1,000. It states that you guys are leaving tomorrow for Innsmouth, which is about an hour away from Arkham, up north. In that the job pretty much terminates once you guys come back. Um, that you are not to talk to anybody about whatever is discussed or whatever has got to do with the investigation, and that you're just there to assist the private investigator. That in no way, shape, or form you are becoming a private investigator.
And is the job gonna be paid out upon completion? I asked the clerk.
Well, the he tells you, well, I'll be happy to give you $500 right now, and I can give you the other 500 when you come back.
Upon hearing this, I immediately signed.
Okay. Yep. No problem. And what about you, sir? Would you be interested?
I'm definitely interested.
All right.
I'm definitely more hired muscle than an assistant. I'm not so great with the books. I'm a boxer.
That's
As long as you
totally
guys
fine.
need those skills.
That's totally fine. I mean, ultimately, um, we need assistance for both. I'm sure that if there's a fight that breaks up or whatever, somebody that can fist fight will be helpful, and then definitely somebody that may be able to use a gun or whatever, if that comes to happen. You know, like I said, I don't necessarily have any details that this is got anything to do with any kind of violence, but ultimately, what we know now that you have signed the contract is that there is this fishing boat captain that seems to be going through a tough time in his life. And this came from the local police that has passed on some information. And we have decided to look into this to try to get to the bottom of it. The local police in Innsmouth is not that good, and I'm saying that it's not that good because they don't have a strong police presence in there, and also they don't have the means. Simple as that. They hire mostly from the town, and the town is not a big town at all, so therefore the talent there is not the brightest. But with that being said, so this fishing boat captain has mentioned that he lately has started talking to God, or talking with God, I should say. And I don't have an issue with religion. He says everybody's welcome to believe whatever they want. He says I myself am a Christian also, Um, but you know, I don't necessarily go telling everybody what I talk about with God. And definitely God doesn't necessarily tell me to do certain things or to make certain things happen that ends up costing other people's lives. And with this, I'm not necessarily saying that he is at fault because we just have no proof that he's doing anything wrong. Um, and that's mainly what you're going for, to try to find that proof, find out exactly what's going on. But the long story short is that this captain has said after many months of not being successful at fishing anything, that he started talking to God, and then one day God talked bad, and when he talked back, he was at sea, and then apparently he says that God showed up, and there was this huge storm that didn't last very very long, and after the storm happened, a lot of the sailors were gone. Nobody knows exactly what happens. He can imagine that that they just maybe they fell off the boat or whatever, and possibly drowned. I would imagine so. Um, but all long story short is that the captain started hiring more sailors and more and more and more, and you know, eventually everybody that that gets a job with that, you know, it's obviously responsible for their own lives. You know, obviously, if you take a job on a boat, you know that there's a chance that maybe you may drown because ultimately you're going on the water, right? Same thing as if you get a job as an airline pilot, right? You know that there's a chance that something may happen, right? But ultimately, this time around, this happened, I want to say about 3 times. So, due to that, we have decided to look into it. And we are particularly interested in what he has said, that God has shown up. You know, once he is at sea, and then after he shows up, all of a sudden there's so much fish, and he's the only boat that's bringing fish in right now. So, do you guys have any other questions?
The other boats that aren't bringing any fish in, they fish the same waters. He's going to the same place they are.
Uh, I don't necessarily know that they're fishing always at the same place. All I know is that they seem to be going, you know, a couple miles into the water, you know, to the sea, and fishing there. I also know that he says that he prays, and then eventually God shows up and brings in the fish.
Has anybody else seen this god?
I'm sorry, said that again?
Has anybody else seen this so-called god that he's talking about?
Uh, Nobody that is alive.
Is he the only member on the crew, apart from the new hired sailors?
No, there's
Is he the
other
only that ever
survivors,
returned?
but most of the other survivors are survivors that were inside of the boat when that was happening. So therefore, they They didn't see anything.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, then all three of you are going to be leaving tomorrow very early at 8 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have a truck ready. You guys are more than welcome to bring anything you want. And, and you'll be off on your way. The truck will bring you there. And if you need anything, you're more than welcome to let me know if it's something that you need, and we can go ahead and get it for you too. Other than that, look forward to see you tomorrow, and hopefully you guys get to resolve this issue, and it can be an easy weekend, and you make some money.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So he says, I'm going to go attend to some other business that I have, but I'm going to leave here with you guys, Detective Richard Hedgeworth, so you guys can get acquainted. And other than that, good luck tomorrow. And he just steps out of the office.
Okay. This is clearly some superstitious jargon. I'm sure there's some storm that happens and capsizes the boat in some way. Maybe some people are just on the edge of the boat and they just fall over, and maybe fish just seem to happen to running away from the storm. They jump on the boat. I don't think this god nonsense has any weight to it, but people are going missing, and we should investigate. What do you guys think?
The god part doesn't seem to be so much nonsense. It's the actually seeing him thing. Even in the Bible, people don't usually see him and hear him. So I'm not so sure what he's seeing is God. Maybe more like the devil. But that's just my theory.
Well, hopefully we'll find answers soon enough.
All right. So, is there anything? Actually no, not necessarily anything, but anything that you guys want to bring that you currently don't have. Please make sure that it is in your character sheet. So, just open your character sheet, and under let me tell you where. Under possessions, that's where you can put the stuff you're bringing. Or if it's something easy that you just want to make a list, you can just put it where your backstory is. Whatever, doesn't really matter. Also, if there is something you want to do, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do it. You just gotta let me know that you're gonna do it, and you can go ahead and do it. Otherwise, I'm not necessarily know exactly if it has to do with the investigation. What would you go by with? Trying to investigate something, because your knowledge of whatever's going on is not that vast. Mainly because you simply don't have many details about it. But yeah, that's so far that.
Maybe could I go to a library and maybe look up some books on their local traditions, or would that not be available at the library?
You can go to the library, but I'm not necessarily sure as to what you will look for, mainly because due to the fact that the boat captain is stating that God is talking to him, it will be very very hard to find something that makes some sense, because technically God could be anybody talking to him
Right.
or anything, and what I'm trying to say is anybody could see anything and say that God is talking to them. When
Right.
it
Right.
comes to something supernatural, it wouldn't necessarily give you something a definitive answer as to what he is actually seeing.
Yeah. Then I would like to find some kind of weather report of the area. Would that be in newspapers or news? Is there a way to find past find the dates? Maybe, would we know the dates of these failed or
Oh
would we know the
yeah,
dates when the sailors were missing? And could I check the weather?
he normally goes out fishing about every 2 weeks, and
Hmm.
he goes for 2 days and then comes back and then takes a break. I mean, he has quite a big boat, so you know, and he has been able to bring a lot of fish lately. But yeah, he can probably tell you more once you get there. Also, he can probably, anybody that you talk with over there can probably talk to you about the weather, what the weather's like lately.
Right. Okay. Then I'm good to go. If anyone has an idea.
All right. So what about you, Arrow? What about your character?
I go to a shop and buy a life vest. Other than that, that's it.
Okay. And let me see. And then lastly, Richard, what about you? Is there anything you want to
No, it's
do?
Tim.
Or Tim? Sorry.
Yep. Um, I want to go to the bar near the port and see if I can listen to some rumors about Innsmouth. Just
Over
try to
there
gather some info.
in Arkham or in Innsmouth? And
Uh,
the only reason I'm
Here
asking
in
you is because in Arkham, nobody's gonna know much of anything because you were with the other guy that was talking to both of them, telling them that he was just specifically giving them the information due to the fact that they were signing a contract stating that they were going there. So without that, not many people is gonna have any details about that,
right,
unless
no
you happen to
specifically
be
about
in
the
Smith.
no here in Arkham, not specifically about the contract itself, but I see that we have a port and maybe there's some sailors that
Sure.
came from Innsmouth or
Okay.
passed by, and you know how rumors spread around at the bar.
Okay. So go ahead and roll. Um, I guess roll your luck.
Okay, hold on.
Ooh.
All right. Um. So you do find some people talking about it. However, you hear many, many different things. You hear from people telling you that, I mean, not you, talking amongst them, that potentially the captain could be drunk, could have been drunk, and maybe there was a storm, and he didn't control the ship correctly, and maybe all the sailors ended up just flying out the ship, or that maybe all the sailors were drunk and they made some stupid decisions that ended up. And I'm not saying that all of them, because some people survived, but most, or at least the people that were missing, that maybe they were drunk and that's what happened, or that maybe it was a series of accidents that could have caused them to go through that. Let's say, for example, you bring some fish, and you don't keep your ship clean enough, and the area becomes slippery. You slip, fell off the boat with nobody realizing you're there. Also mentioning that if the weather for some reason happens to be bad, that creates a lot of noise because of the waves and whatnot. So hearing somebody falling, it's not the easiest thing. Um, and then you also have the crazy merchants. The crazy merchants, the crazy sailors, just saying that that captain is just crazy. He's saying that he's been too long, into sea, and that's the result of him saying that he's talking to God, and that God is actually talking to him back and showing up and providing him with a fish.
This captain fellow doesn't sound like the most reliable one. Just to be sure, I'll bring my own rope and life vest as well.
Okay. All right. So the time comes, and
Oh,
yep. Go ahead.
sorry, before we set off, could I also acquire a life vest?
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the time comes, and then ultimately you guys get ready to go. You meet at the same place where you guys had the meeting, and the that other investigator that hired you is there. It's like, all right, so you guys have our phone number here. If you need anything, you're more than welcome to call. They do have a police department for whatever reason, so if anything happens, you're more than welcome to contact police. However, keep in mind that some of you are not investigators, and that obviously you're not police officers either. So therefore, that doesn't mean you're deputized in any kind of way or anything like that. So if you shoot at somebody, if you kill somebody, if you do any kind of thing that breaks the law, you will be considered as breaking the law, not necessarily having any kind of immunity. Any questions?
Out of character, this would also include me, right?
Everybody. Well,
Right.
you as
Okay.
the private investigator, you will know those things. But then
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
also know that as long as it's in self-defense, you're more than welcome to defend yourself.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, real quick, out of character, who is the main person we were trying to protect? The captain himself?
Well, no, you're not trying to protect anybody. You're trying to find out what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, but wasn't it me?
I'm sorry, was it what?
No, not really protecting, but I thought they were
Oh, okay. No,
hired to
they're
assist me.
your right. They are your
Yeah, paid
assistants
for protection.
forward slash
Yeah.
bodyguards type thing.
Yeah. So it'd be Richard.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll extend my hand and say, just stay close to me and everything will be all right.
Looking forward to working with you, mate. And I shake his hand.
Same here. And I'll give you a strong handshake.
All right. So we can go ahead and say that you guys do, all this talking and all that on the way there, right? This is just happen as you're traveling.
Right.
You pretty much grabbed everything you wanted. I don't have an issue with you bringing anything, and Arrow, your character, if he wants to bring a gun, he is more than welcome to have a gun. I don't have an issue with your character having a gun. It actually probably will make sense for the agency to have lend you a gun to go there while you're on the job.
Just quick, is it okay if I bring my own army issue rifle?
Yeah, you probably can. However, walking around, with a rifle, Yeah,
No,
and
for now it's kind of like in his
yeah, you can bring it.
like leave.
You can bring it. Most definitely.
Excellent.
All right. So within an hour, you guys arrive to the town, and like I said, the town is about an hour up north.
Ooh.
Um, it's not necessarily that crazy. However, it's got a port. It's got many boats and stuff. Um, so you guys are going to stay at an inn. You know that it's been already set up for you guys. So you arrive. The inn is nothing too crazy. It's a very humble place, very comfortable too. It's gonna have 3 rooms. So ultimately, the vehicle stops. Somebody drops your belongings, and today will be Friday. So they tell you, well, I'll be coming back on Monday to pick you up.
Hmm.
All right.
All right, you got the phone number. If you guys need to leave earlier for whatever reason, you guys are more than welcome to call. And however, I don't do overnight driving, so unless it is during the day, I am not driving back here.
Understood.
All right, very well. Well, I wish you the best of luck. The lady in there, her name is Dorothy. She has already the information for the rooms. Um, he says you guys have each of you one room, and you guys have a great time. And he just takes off. So, what do you guys do?
Hmm. I I like Tim's idea of going to a bar near the port to to get some leads or some rumors. Um, how do we think we're going to approach the captain? Should we approach his potential employees, or what do we think?
Well, given what happened to the last crew, I'm sure there's hiring going around. Somebody's got to know something.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right,
Well,
so.
um,
Mhm.
oh, no, yeah, shall we check the pier where the boat would be? I guess there must be some kind of recruitment post.
Well, you guys probably should go inside the inn first and drop your stuff if you're gonna do that.
Oh, yes, right. Sorry. Yeah.
All right.
Um,
So you
right. Oh,
guys walk
sorry,
into
yeah,
the inn.
go on.
There's this lady. She's about 60 years old. She's behind the counter. She's like, "Oh yeah, you guys must be the out of towners. You guys are coming. I heard you guys were coming. Yeah, I got your keys right here. You're that investigative guy, aren't you?"
Um, oh, you're very well informed. That's right. Um,
That's
oh no,
great.
that's right. The rooms would have been paid by the company, right?
Well, I gotta tell you, you got the work cut out for yourselves. I mean, I don't necessarily know how you're going to resolve this, but the things are just. I don't think things are as cut and dry. She says,
Hmm.
Conrad has been going through a lot, and I think the last thing he needed was definitely to lose his sailors. Um, but at the same time, due to the fact that he's going through a lot, I think it makes sense that he was just going to come out stating that he was able to conversate with God and to converse with God, and that God actually shows up,
Right.
particularly in the middle of the sea, right? Out of anywhere. And then also the fact that kind of weird how God shows up, but then again, half his people are not coming back, if not more.
Was he
Um,
was he always religious, or is this a new thing?
no, as far as I know, he was always religious, but you know, it's been a tough time. His business was not doing so well. His wife was sick, and then she died, and not only that she died, but then you know, he has a small child, and he didn't have the means to take care of the kid. And then I don't know exactly what happened over here, but it's almost like we'd run out of fish. For the longest time, nobody was bringing any fish, and and I remember that Richard. I saw him. I mean, not Richard. Sorry. I the guy the guy she says I saw him at the I saw him at the corner store, and I talked to him.
The captain.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and he told me that he had been praying, and that he managed to have God answer him, and that God promised him food, promised him fish, that his prayers were going to be delivered. Um, that all he just needed to do was to pray and to give himself to him, and that everything was going to be fine. And I said, okay, you know, whatever, because ultimately taking people out there, you know, it still costs money because you got to pay those people, you need to get your supplies, and you know, it's not, and coming back, you know, empty-handed is not something that you can continue doing over and over, at least when you're doing it as a business. And he did go. And as far as I know, he came back with only half of his sailors. And ultimately, what I know was that he said that he just started praying, and then God showed up, and then he blanked out. He passed out. And then by the time he woke up, everybody was gone, and there were thousands or hundreds of dead fish just floating, and all he had to do was catch them, just grab them. He loaded them up, and there were fish that just died. There weren't fish that they were just dead for weeks, days. No, it's almost as if he had fished them right then and there. That's what he said. Ultimately, you know, I continue. We buy a lot of fish over here. We serve a lot of fish. We eat a lot of fish. So I've seen the fish that he caught because I bought that fish at a store, and it's regular fish. There's no difference as to how the fish die. If you ask me, I cannot tell at all any difference that the fish might have been going through some sort of stressful event that caused them to die. All I know is that there's a fish. It's not bad. So, you know, I bought it.
Hmm.
So then he went ahead and he started going every 2 weeks. I met him a couple more times. And his buddy, Roger, he probably knows more. Roger is his brother in law, which ultimately he is in business with, or he was in business with, because he disappeared too in the sea. But he didn't disappear the first time around. He actually, I think the second time around, he disappeared, which it might have been a week and a half ago. I'm sure this. I think he was planning to go this weekend too. And she says, but no, he told me that that he was gonna go because he was just worried. He lost his sister, so he was worried that he was having some issues, and he is very much a broken man by all means. The captain, if you talk to him, you will see what I mean by being a broken man. But he was gonna try going. He was gonna try making sure that he was safe and whatnot. But he never came back.
Do you know what the captain does with the money? Being the only sailor that brings in fish, he must be, must be
Well,
quite
no, he
lucrative.
pays the remaining sailors, and I'm assuming that he does maintenance on his ship and takes care of whatever it is he needs to take care of for the to continue running the business and pay some of the debts and whatnot that he may have.
Do you know where the captain lives?
Yeah, we all know each other over here in this town. This is a very small town. Um, she'll tell you he lives on Elliott Street and Main Street. There's a house right there. It's not anything fancy, but that's where he lives. It's very nearby to his boat.
Now, this other half of the crew that did came back, are they recurring crew, or is it a lot of
Well, um, as far as I know, everybody from his crew is gone throughout all the trips that they had. Um, because ultimately, what happened was the people from the crew were rotating, as far as I know, and and when the people from that were working on the deck went missing, he came back, and then the people that were working inside of the boat moved on working on the deck because they had the most amount of experience, and he hired new people, and they started doing the stuff inside of the boat, and those were the people that returned. So now I don't necessarily know anybody that that he had a problem with. So it's not like he had any enemies or anything like that.
so? If people keep disappearing, do people not get worried about it? Like, is the money that good that they're willing to risk it?
Everybody gets worried about it, but everybody has to eat. Right now, this town. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it outside. This town is not. It's not doing very well. Most businesses are closed because we make most of our money out of fishing. Nobody's really bringing any fish except for him somehow. So everybody wants to work because they need money. So obviously people are
Right.
worried, but once you're faced with the option of whether you eat and you live, or or I'm sorry, whether you make some money and you continue surviving, for your family and for everybody else, or you just don't, but then you're not gonna have anything to eat, so therefore you will die. So when things get extreme, people does whatever they need to do in order to survive.
The captain's dead wife, you said she died of illness. Was
Yeah,
there a wave of illness? Did anybody else come down with anything around the
I
same
think
time?
she died of pneumonia.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
been a while. It's been a couple of years, but I'm pretty sure it was pneumonia.
Oh, so it was long before the fish stopped fighting then. Okay.
Yeah, no, this was a couple of years ago.
Hmm.
This was
Okay.
none of this was happening back then.
All right. I'm out of questions, I think.
Well, thank you for all the info. Do you mind if we make ourselves comfortable?
Oh, you're most welcome. And if you need anything, please let me know.
Will do. So, do we meet up in a room to just kind of like have a discussion?
Well,
Yeah, I
she gives you your
suppose.
keys, and she tells you, okay, we do provide breakfast in the morning. Breakfast is from 6 to 10. Other than that, we do have a couple of places. We have a bar nearby that serves drinks. Obviously, you know that we are in prohibition, so you can probably get something special, but it's not gonna be branded, and it may cost you quite a bit. Other than that, they'll just provide you with water or whatever it is, and and we do have a couple of diners and a couple of restaurants expect to have fish.
Okay. Mm. All right. Well, thank you for all your attention.
Oh,
I'll
you're
be
most
retiring to
welcome.
my room now.
Most welcome. And I'm sorry I'm not able to answer any more questions for you, but if you need to know anything else, please feel free
Oh.
to go to the police department. Maybe they have more questions, or you can just simply go talk to him.
Hmm. Yeah. Thank you very much. You've been very helpful.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And
Anytime. Let me know if you
yeah,
need
I
anything.
think I'll just we'll do. I I guess I'll head up and find my room.
Okay. All right. So you guys go to your rooms. Your rooms are not necessarily big at all. They're like they're more like they're literally a room. Um, there's only one bathroom that is connected amongst the three rooms. So you guys are gonna have to take turns to go to the bathroom, and therefore all rooms are connected through the bathroom. But otherwise, the rooms are simply a bed with a dresser, a lamp, and a radio, and that's it.
What about the walls? Do we get some privacy or are they like paper thin?
The walls are. I mean, it's really hard for you to judge, but it's typical American construction. It's made out of wood. Shallow inside, um, hollow inside, and if you knock hard enough, they can probably hear you from the other side.
Okay, I'll take
The
notice of
outside
that.
walls are definitely concrete.
Without raising my voice, just in a regular speaking tone, I'm gonna call out to Tim from my room. Can he? Does the noise go through on a
Tim, go
regular
ahead and
volume?
roll listen.
Okay.
Yep, he can
Hmm.
hear you.
Okay. Just heard the knocking. Just checking the thickness.
I'll
Um.
actually come to your room as well just to. So I see we had the same thought, eh? Um,
mm,
we should probably talk somewhere else. I kind of have
yeah.
something I want to discuss.
Hmm. Um, shall we just walk on the street then? I guess that might be the most private place, maybe, depending how crowded it is. I doubt there's many people.
Sure. Let's go find some park and we'll talk. Jeremiah, you wanna come?
Yeah, come along.
All right. So where is it that you guys are going?
It's like a
Uh,
We're,
place that is like open enough that we can see that nobody's listening in.
Like at the docks or anywhere else?
is there a park in town?
A park? No. There's no park.
Uh, hmm.
I mean, we can go to the port.
And most of the town is closed out. Not the streets, but the buildings are boarded, closed out and in really bad condition too. This is a very poor town.
Hmm. I feel like the port might be the only place with people. Like it might be the only place that's pretty busy. Um, I mean, the streets, how crowded are they? We could probably have a conversation while walking, I imagine.
Um, you may see one or two people walk by every 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Sure,
Yeah.
I
not
guess
crowded
we'll
at
talk
all.
while walking.
Not crowded at all.
Right.
Okay, then I'll say like, so this job is giving me some bad vibes, you know. Um, I would rather get it done as soon as possible. So, what do you need me to do now? Keep in mind, I'm not uh, bothered by any illegal activities you might
Hmm.
suggest.
That's good. Um, I'm currently considering two options. The first one would be the most obvious, I guess. Applying for the job of, you know, Fisher with this man. That would be the straightest shot to finding out what happened to the previous workers. Um, and you managed to get the captain's address. With some luck, he might not be home, and we could find something useful. But yeah,
I was
that might be a
thinking the
bit
same.
risky.
Well,
Mm,
I have some skills that I learned through the army that may come in handy. I
mm,
would really like to get a hold of that captain's log.
yes. Jeremiah, do you have anything to chip in?
uh, this log seems good. Point me in the right direction, and I'm along for the ride. I don't really know what's going on.
Mm.
Breaking and entering.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's
Um,
he's a laid back kind of character. He's not a leader type.
So
mm,
just to put this out there, I'm walking around with like my army duffel bag. Inside it is my rifle.
Okay.
right.
All right.
Hope it just like looks like normal luggage.
So you guys head to the captain's house. When you arrive, the house is definitely falling apart. He's got the mailbox is a boat, small boat, and he has definitely different things that you can tell that some sort of sailor or somebody that works at the sea lives there. Like he has a rudimentary life preserver hanging as a trinket from his deck. Um, some rope, some bothers. So, do you knock on the door?
I actually want to listen in. Maybe there's some praying, but I want to make sure that the house is empty.
Okay.
Uh,
Just a sec.
How how does this work? So if I would also want to do that, would I aid him in the roll, or would I roll beside him?
No, you guys roll separately. All right. So
Ah,
go ahead
okay.
and roll listen. Okay. So
Ooh,
you
wow,
don't
we
hear
did really
any
well.
you don't hear any movement inside. However, you do hear a cough. The cough doesn't seem to be a cough from an adult.
What? From an
could be
adult?
that.
From
Or
an
like
adult.
a
Yeah.
child? Child?
Yep. It could very well be a child or a small woman.
We
Okay.
were told that their kid was also sick, so that's gotta be him, right?
Oh, oh, I missed that. Okay. Didn't know they had a child. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll spot hidden.
Okay. Um. Uh.
Where's my roll?
Oh, you rolled a 2.
Okay, so there. Okay, so you guys are able to look out through the window, and the window right next to the front door, and you can see that there's a child laying on a couch. Um, he's he's probably like 13, 14 years old. He's coughing.
Hmm. Okay, I wasn't expecting having to talk to a child. Um. Hmm.
I knock on the door.
How? Oh, okay.
Does he answer the door?
I'm sorry. Is that again?
She's
I knock on the door.
Oh, you knock on the door, and you hear a creaking sound. Mainly the floor is creaking. Somebody's approaching the door. Um, the door opens up. However, there's a chain on the door, so it doesn't open all the way. And the child says, "Hi, my dad's not here. He went to the store real fast."
Will he be back soon? I'm looking for a job on his boat.
Um, he says, "Oh yeah, he should be back in no time. Actually, there he is. He's walking. He and he tells you he's walking this way right now."
Okay.
Turn and look.
Okay, and when you turn and look, you see this guy approaching. He's wearing a raincoat. He's got a long beard, long hair. He's got definitely a sailor's hat, and he's coming. You know, he does walk funny. Apparently, he has a bad leg, and he smokes a pipe. He's like, "Gentlemen, uh, everything in order?"
Yeah,
Looking
we
for a job on your boat.
Oh, you looking for a job? Okay, yeah, no, actually, that's great because you know what? I have a trip planned out for tomorrow. Actually, it's gonna be a quick trip. I talked to God, and God told me that that there's gonna be good fish out there tomorrow. So we're all gonna go there, show up. It's very easy. Show up, pray, get the fish, and come back. You know, and
That makes sense.
ultimately, I'm not necessarily rich. I got only so much money. I can pay you $50 per person, and it'll be about I don't know, maybe half a day worth of work.
Right.
That's quite attractive pay.
I'm sorry.
That's some good pay for the job.
It is. It
I'll
is.
take it.
I expect to bring a lot of fish. God talks to me, and he has appeared in front of me. He told me that every time he appears and he talks to me, he tells me exactly like it is, and he has told me that there's going to be plenty of fish.
So aside from fish, what else does he say?
Say that again.
Aside from fish, what else does he say? Do you talk to him a lot?
No, we just talk. He, I tell him about the problems we had. He tells me he's gonna help him, but he needs devout believers, and he wants me to uh, to help him get more believers, people believing in him. That he tells me that he's gonna cure my song, and I gotta say my song has started to feel much better lately. Um, you know, just that. He just wants people to believe, I guess. And
Can
we
you
don't
talk to your
protect him
God
because
anytime you
when we
want?
go out there, when we go out there, God always shows up, and His angels show up too.
Oh, his angels.
Yes.
And people have seen them before, not just you?
Well, I have had people from inside the boat tell me. Unfortunately, I tend to pass out every time. For me, the image, or not the image, but feeling God's presence just seems like a lot. So therefore, I tend to pass out. I don't necessarily know exactly what goes on when things go on, but ultimately, um, people have told me that they have heard some sort of singing. So it's almost as if the angels just sing to God. It's a very particular singing.
And when you say God speaks to you, do you
Yes.
see him as well? Does he show up around this area?
No, he has never showed up over here. No, no. He only shows up when we are, in the water, when we're fishing.
So he comes to you in dreams, then.
He comes to what?
How do you he comes to you in dreams? How do you speak to him and land? How does he tell you
Oh, in
that
land,
there's going to be
I just
fish?
pray, and he talks to me, and I talk to him. Same way as if you pray and you talk to God, and God talks to you.
I'm a bit I forget uh my prayers. Would you remind me how to pray? What do you say?
He says, well, normally before bed, I tend to kneel right next to my bed. He says, I get my hands together, and I say the Holy Father, and then I have a conversation with God, and then one day He just answered me. He told me to have faith and to bring a boat with many people, that if we were believers, that we were going to bring the fish. And then he also told me that the non-believers, unfortunately, were going to sooner or later be doomed. I honestly don't know what he meant about that, but I'm assuming that, you know, God is expecting everybody to believe in Him. You know, um, that's all.
And can we talk to some of those other believers that have actually seen these angels?
Well, the only people that you may be able to talk to some of my my sailors that have survived. Those are brand new sailors. They came uh, about a week and a half ago with me on the boat, and they were inside of the boat. They were working on the inside, particularly the kitchen area and tidying up the boat. There's about 3 people that survived
Out of how many?
out of probably 12.
Okay. So how many of us are there going to be tomorrow on the trip?
How many? What?
How many workers have showed up for tomorrow?
I believe I managed to get I managed to get 9 so far. I'm still looking for a few more. So if you guys are interested, you're more than welcome to come with. I really need more sailors. You know, once we start getting the fish, it I can use all the help I can get. We start bringing fish, and the fish just hundreds and hundreds. You know, they help with bringing the nets and taking care of everything. So it's not the easiest thing.
Okay. Could you tell us the address of one of your previous sailors that returned?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, actually, I tell you what, you're probably not gonna find him at the address, but if you go to the docks, a bar, um, you can find Timmy at the bar. We're there at the bar at the docks. He I don't necessarily want to say that he has a problem, but he likes the special drinks that they make over there.
Mm,
Yeah.
can imagine. Oh,
Other than that, you
um,
know, like I said, we're leaving tomorrow. We're gonna be leaving out of here by around 6 p.m. So if you're interested, you know, there's gonna be a lot of people. There's gonna be 9 more people, so you're more than welcome to talk to them and whatever.
right. Yeah, sounds good then.
Perfect.
Uh, yeah. Sad to be working with you, Captain.
Yeah. Do you guys have? I don't necessarily advise you to bring any weapons. You know, it's not a good idea to have guns on board. You know,
Oh, of
those
course.
are the type of
Yeah.
things that if you make a hole on them, you know, it's not the best thing. You know, you're more than welcome to bring a
Hmm.
knife if you want or anything like that, but guns are probably not the best.
Right.
Yeah. Other
Hmm.
than that, if you have a life preserver, you're more than welcome to bring it. Otherwise, I my boat has the regular round life preservers, so so you can
Hmm.
have that.
Good to know.
All right. Well, this is. I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the docks. It's just straight ahead. He says you just take Main Street, you go straight, and you will see the dock there. And my boat is the actual only boat that docks over there right now. So we're gonna be leaving, so I will see you then.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see
See you
you.
then, Captain.
All right. And he goes back inside the house and closes the door.
Okay. As we start walking away, we once we've made some good distance from the house,
Mm-hmm.
I say, okay, how are we gonna sneak the guns on board? I am useless with my hands alone. Um, I don't know about you two.
Well, deep in a pocket, I can hide my handgun. It's more that rifle I'm worried about.
Hmm.
I mean, do you think they'll check my duffel bag? I have some rope, a life vest. We can throw some shit in there and bury it. I don't think they're gonna
I mean,
go.
it could have been a suggestion to not bring a gun on board, but if we're checked, that could be trouble.
To me, it
Hmm.
sounded more like a suggestion. As long as we're not brandishing it around, we should be fine.
Yeah.
Well, the
Okay.
knife was definitely a suggestion, much like the life preserver. The gun, not bringing a gun, sounded more like a rule than a suggestion.
Well, we
Carry
can
a
ask the
knife.
sailors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can sneak around at night and hide it on the ship before we sail out.
Oh, brilliant idea. Damn. All right, yeah. That's really good. Yeah. All right.
You do, but I don't. Until then, I don't know
Go on.
about you two, but I don't typically carry a knife with me. I'm gonna have to go buy one.
Yeah, same.
All right.
You gotta have a knife if you go on a boat.
I suppose.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Um, right. I assume there'd be a shop by the pier that sells things that a sailor would need, right?
Yes.
Um, yeah. On the way, we can also talk to this past sailor, who I assume has become a heavy drinker since returning. Um, hopefully he's not too deep into his cups by the time we get to him.
Oh, well, we'll find out once you
Um,
guys get there.
yeah.
All right. So you stop at the gun store or at the weapon shop, and you get yourselves your knives, and then you make your way to the bar. You get to the bar, and you see that the bar is actually quite full. Um, Most of the people that live in town are very much into drinking, particularly those that have lost some people lately. You can imagine, that some of those people may have something to do with the people that have gone missing. And this guy is just, is just holding a drink. He's talking to the barman, and go ahead and let's see. Tim, go ahead and actually, Cookie, go ahead and roll your luck.
Okay. Hey.
All right. Go ahead and roll a 1d5. So you're going to type / roll space 1 letter D 5.
Uh,
Very good. All right. So if you want to put it this way, if one will be, just ready to have your first drink, and then 5 will be, completely drunk, like that you cannot tell up from down. He's about at a
Uh,
3 right now.
I see.
So
Okay.
he's pretty happy, pretty content. Well, as happy and content as he can get. Um, but he's definitely slurring words and not necessarily very bright at the moment.
Hmm. Um,
He turns around. He
I
tells to the varmint, "Oh, look, we got some fresh meat. We got some out of towners."
um, I'm gonna approach him. I'm gonna, hey, Timmy. Um, yeah, my friends and I came to work under the captain. So what was the captain's name again?
I thought his name was John.
John. Okay.
Yeah, let's just go by John.
Yeah. We're going to be working under Captain John tomorrow, and I at least am quite anxious. Do you have any tips?
Like, look, you look like the guy that's trying to get free drinks, and I got no money. I can't have a drink till tomorrow. Considering that tomorrow could potentially be the last day I'm alive. So, cheers
Oh,
to
so you're
that,
coming with?
he says, and he downs another cup of
And
this.
I say, hey, I hail the barman and I buy him another of what he just drank.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they
Um,
brew that one here, and he just brings some moonshine, pretty much, just moonshine.
hmm. um, right. So what's your role on board?
Well, I got hired to work in the kitchen because
Hmm.
the previous week some people went missing. I needed money. I
Yeah.
have a wife and I have 5 kids, and there's no work in this area. You know, this area is very sandy, muddy, so therefore nothing grows over here. There's barely any animals, so therefore what we got is fishing, and all I could do was just get a job. I saw that an opening was available, and I went to work. I figured, well, maybe storms happen. Maybe people just had accidents. Ultimately, you can have an accident on any type of work you have, particularly if you're like in a dangerous situation.
Hmm.
But let me tell you this man has some strong praying power. Because you know what? This, the whole area became like super bright. Super, super bright. And as soon as I saw a light, I closed the door and I walked in. And I went to the kitchen because I was like, nope, that's not for me. And I
Okay.
started working. And then I've heard the angels singing. And I was so scared that I just covered my ears because I was like, you know what? No, this cannot be real. But it was the most beautiful singing ever. And I don't know what happened afterwards. But all in all, that lasted maybe 10 minutes. And after that, everything got quiet. I waited about half an hour or so, and then I went up. And I woke up the captain. And everybody was gone. Except for him. and I helped them. Pretty much me and the rest of the people, we went up and we helped them bring all the fish. We looked around everywhere for the sailors, but we couldn't just find them anywhere. I don't know what happened to them.
Hmm. Okay.
So cheers to that. And he just downs another one.
Here's to that, bud. Anyone have any questions for him?
No.
Uh, are there stories of this happening on any other boat, or is it just the captain praying so hard?
I've never seen anything like this. And for all I know, for the longest time, nobody has been able to fish anything. It's been months since we were able to catch anything. But now, all of a sudden, we're reeling fish left and right. Well, reeling them.
Okay.
More like trapping them with nets and just bringing them in.
Right. Okay. Um. Yeah, I think I'm done.
Yeah, that's all my questions for him too.
Alright, well, it's been very nice to meet you, and I will see you tomorrow.
Try, man. See you around.
Alright, make sure you pray, get on God's good side. And,
Right.
and he just chugs another cup.
Okay. So, wet cloth could be put into our ears to muffle sound. Uh. Oh boy. Do you reckon sunglasses would help with the light? Hmm. Okay.
Can the singing of the angels kind of reminds me back in school we read the Odyssey, but surely sirens aren't real, right? It doesn't sound like any angel I've heard of, though.
Oh, angels do sing, but they usually don't take off with most of the crew, I suppose. Yeah, that is worrying. Going back to the shop where we purchased the knife, would there be uh one of those little things you put in your ear to block out sound? Some kind of ear muffler?
Like earplugs?
Earplugs, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you wanna try to get some earplugs.
Yes.
Alright,
Yes.
well, I figure maybe the only place you can check is where you bought the knives. But it's not your typical thing. So for that one, all right. So let's say you guys go back to the shop, and the owner's there. The owner's a very short, bearded guy, and he says, "Oh, hey, you guys are back. You guys ready to get some guns, some firepower?"
Hmm. No, no, I'm not really the gun type of guy. Um, would you happen to carry earplugs?
Oh, let me
I
see. Let me see if I have any. Go ahead and roll. One of you roll your luck. Let's do it. Arrow.
pretty good
Go
luck.
ahead and roll your luck. Okay, there
Oh,
you go. That works.
okay.
That works.
Oh,
He's like, yeah, I got some earplugs right here. Um,
oh,
you
wonderful.
you plan to listen to loud stuff? I mean,
Snore.
I was thinking I'm practicing some shooting, and the sound hurts my ears sometimes. So, um, yeah, just for protection, you know. Do you have 3 sets or?
oh, well, yeah. Here you go.
Ah,
I'll
thank you.
just give it to you for $1.
Ah, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Okay. Uh, all right. Anyone else? After I buy them, I hand a pair to Tim and Jeremiah.
Thank you. I'll repay you for that. Now, um, the Odysseus story kind of like also hit me, so I just want to make sure. Would you say the rope that I have? Actually, first of all, what type of boat are we sailing? Wooden or one
No,
of those
very much
new
a wooden
steam
boat.
engines?
Yeah,
Okay,
a
okay,
wood
okay, okay.
boat.
And would you say the rope that I have would be long enough to tie all three of us to the mast?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess I'm good. I don't need anything else from this store.
Mm.
All right.
I think we just bide our time now until we can sneak on the ship.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Hmm.
So, is there
Mm.
anything else you guys want to do, or do you want to skip until the next day?
Well, we want to sneak
Well,
into
we would
the
wait until
ship.
nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys wait until nighttime. All right. So nighttime comes up. What's the plan?
We were gonna hide the rifle on the ship, and maybe we should look around and see if there's any signs of what's going on the ship.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you go to the docks, and and once you get to the docks, there's a guard, obviously, guarding the area where the ships are anchored. Um, so he's like, "Hey, good evening. Can I help you?"
Uh, shit.
Oh
We're gonna
no.
be working on the ship tomorrow. We were hoping to save some money and bunk on board. We're from
Oh,
out of town.
okay, okay. So, what can I do for you?
We're on our way to Captain John's boat. You we will be working for him tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully
that's
bringing some
right. That's
fish.
that boat out there. He points at it. You know, quite the large boat.
Hmm. Do you think we could head on in?
No.
Hmm, makes sense, honestly. Yeah. Um, yeah. It- um, my friends and I were really tight on cash. We heard this is pretty much the only job available in town. Could you please find it in your heart to let us through?
Well,
Right?
no. I mean,
Is there a
I
chance I could
understand that
roll?
this is the only job in town, and that's definitely true. However, yeah, no, I can't just let you in just like this. I mean, that's what I do for a living. I guard the place. So I'm really sorry, but I can't just let you through. Now, if you want, you can roll. Hold on, let me get to. sheet. You can run some persuade if you want to persuade him.
Is that fast talk
No,
or is that its own thing? Oh,
persuade is just persuade. You're just trying to persuade him to let you through. It may end up costing you some money, but you can try to persuade him.
I have no persuasion.
Let me check. Me neither.
Oh no.
Can give it a try, but
He's like, yeah, unfortunately, I cannot let you through, but you know what? If you're starting to work tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow you can come in. Normally they're here by 4 o'clock. They're already setting everything up, so they leave around 6:30 or so they get everybody that's going to go by 6. So I'm sure that's the time they told you to come, and at that point you can look at the ship. I'm sure you're gonna have time before you actually gotta do anything that needs anything to look at the ship and do what you gotta do.
all right then. Well, have a good night.
All right, you too.
As
Okay.
soon as we're like far enough away from them, so that they don't see us, I turn around and say like, "So we sneak around, right?"
Yeah, I can distract him, but I have no stealth, so I probably should not be the stealthy side.
No
I'm
worries.
not.
If one of you can, yeah,
No, not really.
I can get in anywhere. I've done this before.
brilliant. Okay, excellent. So yeah, I'll just hand over my handgun then. And yeah, I'll just go talk to the god again and and just beg, I suppose, or just spill my life story to him, try and distract him.
All right.
Um,
While he's at it, I'll kind of like walk around the block to the other side, and well, I'll sneak around.
All right.
mm,
So he sees you coming to talk. And he's like, "Hey, fella, I thought you guys were leaving. Do you need anything?"
um, yeah. Do you know of any inns in town?
Yeah. There's an
Particularly
inn
cheap
about
ones.
actually 2 blocks away from here. You just take Main Street and just walk. Was it west? 2 blocks and you get there.
Mm. I've been my friends have it was um my friends and I have been really struggling to find money around. Do you know of any other job? Because we've heard from sailors at the bar that
No,
this is
right
very
now no one's
dangerous.
hiring. He says literally no one. Anybody that has a job already, they're not letting it go. And everybody that doesn't have a job, they end up going to work for the captain because he actually seems to be the only boat that is able to bring any fish. So
Yeah.
you just gotta
Do you know
make
what the
sure
weather's
that.
going to be like tomorrow?
So what?
The weather. Do you know what if it is it going to be stormy, clear? Any reports?
I haven't seen any rain lately. As far as I know, no. There's always this fog, everywhere, but not necessarily any hard rain. Every once in a while, it just rains lightly. That's very common over here, but I haven't seen any hard rain. Maybe out there it might rain hard. I honestly don't know, but I can tell you that normally here it's foggy or rains all the time. It's very unlikely to be sunny.
Hmm. Can
All right,
cutting back to
so
Tim. Yeah.
so Tim, you go around the guy and and you get in the boat. You'll go up a ramp And the boat is, I don't know, it's quite big. Um, there is a actually go. Where do you plan to hide that? Do you want to hide it inside the boat or anywhere?
Well, I'm thinking somewhere that is easy to reach. So definitely inside. Outside on the deck, there's gonna be probably too many people. It's gonna be
Okay, go
eventually
ahead and
found.
roll your luck.
Okay.
All right, so
Nice.
the door to the inside of the boat seems to be unlocked. So you open the door and you see that that's the there's a set of stairs that goes up, and that's where some people are up there to steer the boat. And then there's another stairs that goes down, and that goes more towards the inside of the boat, towards the kitchen and the rooms and the storage area.
I think storage area would be the best right now.
Okay.
I'm also, while I'm doing all of this, I'm looking around for something angel-y.
Mm, Go ahead, roll spot hidden.
Ooh.
All right. So no, you don't necessarily find anything angely. Um, so go ahead and okay. So what area? So you said the storage area. So you finally get to the storage area, and go ahead and roll spot hidden again. See if you can find anywhere to hide the gun.
What?
What you can do if you want is you can spend 4 points of your luck, and you can buy that roll if you want.
I'll definitely do that.
Okay. So go ahead and deduct the 4 points from your luck. So you're gonna edit the sheet and reduce 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much you end up hiding the gun pretty much right under a mattress that is not being used. It's just put to the side. Seems to be seems to be there just in case they need an extra mattress. There's a bunch of bags with bobbers hole in nets holding the mattress, so it's just there where it's really pressed against the wall of the boat, but nobody can actually see it.
All right, and since there's nothing angel-y, I'll just make myself. I'll go back to the inn. I guess we decided we could meet there, or if uh, if Jeremiah has like a designated spot, I'll meet up with them.
All right, all right. So you get out of the boat and you start going around again. Go ahead and roll stealth again.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Damn.
So you
Ooh.
stealth out and you're just behind what seems to be a couple crates. And obviously, um, by then, your body wouldn't have seen you coming out, but it would have been plenty of time. So by then, he will actually stop talking to you, to the guy, and the guy also will be like, okay, well, you know what, he's getting kind of tired of talking. So he's like, all right, buddy, well,
Right.
it was really nice talking to you. I will definitely see you guys tomorrow when you guys come to work. You guys stay safe out there.
Yeah. Likewise, mate. Good night.
And he just keeps walking, patrolling again.
Mm. Mm. Okay. So then, do we just head back to the inn and sleep?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right, come
Mm.
morning, I'll let everybody know where we can find safety on the boat. I'll keep it like in code. I guess while
Yeah.
we have breakfast.
All right,
Mm.
so you guys go to sleep, and you wake up, early in the morning, I guess. Let's say you wake up around 8. Um, the lady from the inn, she has a table set up. She's got, all sorts of food in there. Of course, they're all made with fish. Crab cakes. She's got some different types of fish cooked in different ways with a few vegetables and things. Not a whole lot. It's mostly fish and seafood. Um, and she's got some milk and coffee. She's like, all right, well, you guys enjoy. Eat as much as you want. I know you guys are gonna have a long day today. Um, so go ahead.
As soon as she's gone, I'll be like, actually, guys, I hate fish.
I was thinking it might not be a great idea to eat the God-given fish. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'll kind of like put it away in some napkins and put it in my pocket and pull out one of those army issue protein bars and eat that
Sure.
instead.
Go ahead. You can do that.
Oh,
All right.
I got some more of those if you guys like.
So, is there anything
I
you
would
guys
love
want
to.
to do between that time, between 8 o'clock in the morning and 6 p.m., that you guys gotta go to the boat?
I would like to buy a bottle of alcohol.
Like rubbing alcohol
Not,
or okay, so you want to
um,
buy some drinking alcohol.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess you're gonna have to go back to the bar and see if the bar sells you a whole container.
Hmm.
So you go and the bar's open. It's always open. He sees you come and he's like, "Oh, are you gonna drink today, or you're just gonna chat with people?" As you can see, it's too early right now. There's not that many people yet.
No, I want to take it on the go, essentially.
On the go.
Could I?
Yeah, we don't normally sell
That's right.
things on the go. This is a bar.
Um, well, I'm heading into Captain John's ship, and there seems to be some pretty slim chances of coming back. I was hoping to dull some of the impending doom with a drink on board.
He's like, well, I do understand your sentiment. Normally, I want to say that your chances of coming back by being drunk are gonna be even less.
Yeah, but it might calm the shaking of my hands, you know?
All right,
Might
go
give
ahead
me
and roll
give
your
me some peace of
persuade.
mind. Ah, fuck. No fast talk?
Or
Yeah.
you can fast talk. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not bad, but
All
oh,
right. All right. Well, yeah, that's fine. You can have this. He says he gives you a bottle of moonshine, a big container of moonshine. He says, "Okay, here you go." Although, once again, I wouldn't necessarily drink this if you're on the boat. You know, it may impede your reflexes.
of course, yeah. Well, thank you, mate. Hopefully, I'll see you soon.
All right, looking forward to that.
Hmm. Okay. Um.
I want to see some.
Yeah.
Okay, it works now. Cool. All right.
All
So
right,
no, I was
I'm,
just
I'm, I'm
testing
done.
that. I was just testing. That's not. There's no hurricane. I was just testing to see if the macros work.
It's like a Sharknado, but with cats. We're fucked.
So so is there anything else you guys want to do, or are we skipping?
I'm good with skipping.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good to skip it.
All right. So 6 o'clock comes up. You guys appear at the docks. You see how there's a line of people going onto the boat. The guy that patrols the docks is there. He's like, "Oh well, it's great to see you again. I do wish you the best of luck, guys." And
Yeah.
slowly the line starts moving up. The captain is actually standing right next to the ramp that goes up the boat, greeting everybody. He's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you guys came. We do need the manpower. You will understand once we get there. It is it is not easy, this work, that's for sure. But with the help of God, with the help from God, we all not only shall be saved, but we will always have enough. God always provides."
Amen.
All right, well,
Oh
get
boy.
go to your quarters, get comfortable. Get ready, put your stuff away, and you can meet me in 20 minutes up here, and I will give you your instructions as to what you guys are gonna do.
Right. Right. Sorry. So when we got the job, I think he said how long we would be out at sea, right?
Yeah,
How
it was a
long was
weekend
that?
job. He told you it was gonna be maybe half a day.
Okay. Right. Okay.
All right. So once you
Uh,
head down, the ship starts heading out slowly. You enter the boat. You see also that there's a couple of stairs. There's a set of stairs that goes up, and the captain normally is up there steering the ship. And then there is another set of stairs that go down, and that one goes to the quarters, the kitchen, the dining room area, and the storage area. Well, they store the fish and everything else. Um, so you walk in, and you're following everybody else pretty much. You just head downstairs to the to the to the rooms, and the room is pretty much one large room with many beds. The beds are pretty much nailed to the boat to where they wouldn't move, and they got some guardrails so you don't fall off the bed, and that's where you're at. Um, all right, so you get to your bed. Where are you going to hide that moonshine?
I'll.
um,
I have a
you go on.
flask. I have a flask. I probably mentioned that along the way. Is mainly just kind of like a thing that I used to
You
do.
can you can
I still
add
drink, but
you can add some to the flask, for sure, 100%. But
I'll
they
give that to
sell
you.
you a
If
container about this big of moonshine, and I'm talking about this big. I'm saying about what? I don't necessarily know exactly how much moonshine will have in it, but it is about 2 feet tall and then 2 feet wide. There's a clear container full of moonshine.
I I bought a barrel.
Yeah, like a small barrel.
Oh, oh, and I got this thing on board.
Yes.
Oh God. Well, my plan was not to drink it, but to throw it. Um, in ideally glass bottles. Um, okay, that throws something of a wrench in my plans. Okay, so, uh,
Yeah, it's not big.
I
It's
assume
not a
this
big
is
barrel, but it's definitely small, very small barrel.
Right. Um, yeah, you can go ahead and fill your flask as much as you want. There's enough to go around. Um, so okay, so what is my do I have a private room or is it like a shared bunk
No,
kind
it's
of
a shared
situation?
room with everybody's bed there. So, not sure if you
Hmm.
want to stash that inside of a bag that you might have brought or something.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll put it in a bag and then I'll throw my coat over it.
Okay. All right.
Maybe that duffel bag.
Oh,
Yeah.
would it fit in the duffel bag? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it in there then.
So, I want to know exactly at what point you guys are going to put your life preservers on. And the reason
Actually,
why I'm
yeah.
saying that is because
Oh,
unless you tell me at some point that you have your life preservers on, if later on you tell me, wait, I had it on, I will tell you that you never told me that, so therefore you didn't have them on. So,
fair enough.
I'm gonna put
Yeah,
it
like
on.
when we sailed, yeah. Same.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna put my jacket over it so I don't look like so much of a dork.
okay. All right.
I
So,
don't care about being a dork. It is just for safety, and I'll put it on as soon as I get to my quarters, as well as the rope that I have.
mhm,
I wanna put it above deck, just in case we need it. It's easy to grab, and also if I can, because now it's there's light outside. I'm actually looking for any dried blood, maybe any signs of altercation, because although he might say there's angels and God and all of that, from past experience, something has to be going wrong. So I'll keep an eye out on that as I'm doing all of this.
okay. Well, let me tell you that for as long as you're there, you notice that, besides the fact that everybody talks like sailors. There's a reason why they call having a sailor's mouth. Because of the way they talk. But they're very friendly to each other. Nobody's they're not there's no animosity whatsoever amongst the people working over there. If anything, they're all super nice to each other. Not extra overly nice, but just regularly nice. Um, and okay, so you guys ultimately head upstairs again because the captain told you to meet him up there. And the captain tells you, "All right, well, um, who wants to work inside the boat and who wants to work outside?" He says. "I know that there's some new folks, some new faces, but ultimately we're basing it on what you want to do. You choose whatever it is you want to do."
I'd rather work the kitchen. I think I
Kitchen.
could
Okay. Very well.
yeah.
The kitchen. What about you? What about both of you? He says.
Um, yeah, I don't know rigging or anything. I think I'd be most useful below deck, like packaging stuff as well.
Okay. All right. All right.
What would get me closest to the kitchen?
Yeah, that's fine. Then you guys work inside. You guys will be cleaning inside, getting anything ready, helping with the kitchen, um, you know, setting up the container room for the fish once we get it in. So you're good. All right. So just go down there, go to the kitchen, and do your thing. And the rest of you, you're going to wait till we get to where the fish are. So, but before anyone goes, let's just pray for a moment. So he starts praying. He just says, "God, thank you for this opportunity. Please keep us on your mind and provide us with the fish we need. Once we get there, I'm gonna pray to you again. Thank you." And he just looks a little worried. He says, God is not answering me. I don't know why. I really hope we don't come back empty-handed. So he just says, "Okay, well, everybody get to work," and the ship continues.
Okay.
I make sure to
How
tell.
many? Oh, go on.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, well, real quick, I'll make sure to tell Richard and Jeremiah to keep their earplugs handy in their
Yeah.
pocket.
Okay.
And how many other sailors are working below deck with us?
No, it's just gonna be you three.
Excellent. Okay. Then I would go and pick up my handgun and put it in my holster, in its holster. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll retrieve my gun as well.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you guys do your thing for about an hour or so, and eventually.
Oh, and sorry, I want to mention that I said I originally placed the coat over the bottle, but since we put it in the duffel bag, I want to retrieve my coat so I have something to cover the weapon with.
Okay. All right.
I'll
No
put
problem.
the rifle on the duffel bag as well and keep it close by in the kitchen. Keep an eye out on it. Make sure nobody gets in.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So after a while, the boat stops. There's a very, very thick fog, but there's no rain. There's always it's cloudy, definitely. Um, and the captain says, "Okay, well, throw the nets, whatever, blah blah blah." They pull the nets out, no fish. Like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to pray again. I'm gonna try, see if God answers me this time. Blah 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 blah. All right, so he prays, and all of a sudden, you hear screaming. You hear screaming, and mainly because the boat starts to shake. It's almost as if there's like all of a sudden big waves. Go ahead and roll dexterity to make sure that you guys stay in place and you don't fall and get hurt.
Oh.
Nope,
Right,
I double rolled on accident. So
Jeremiah, unfortunately caught you off balance, and as you were walking, you were on the where the rooms are. Go ahead and roll your luck for me. All right, so you fall.
Oh.
When you fall, unfortunately, you bounce out of one of the beds that is on the floor, and then onto the floor itself. So go ahead and roll a 1d5, please. All right. And you would have definitely twisted at least your wrist. So one of your hands is out of commission for the moment. Not necessarily bleeding or anything like that. Maybe a couple bruises, but your hand is hurting quite a bit. Your wrist is hurting quite a bit. All right. So suddenly, the boat stops shaking. Everybody stops screaming. Everybody, go ahead and roll your roll. Listen.
Oh shit.
put my earplugs in.
Well, you do hear some singing going on. Some very soft singing. Seems to be something that seems like females singing. So you put your earplugs in. Go ahead and roll your power for me.
Yeah, Oh, all of us, right? Or just
Yeah, everyone.
Okay.
This is an
Oh man.
individual thing. All right.
Oh
So
man.
you notice that people that might have gone downstairs for the moment, they are they're starting to head upstairs, but not in a rush. Walking steady, pretty much. They're saying, "Oh, such beautiful singing! I have to go see it. They're calling me."
Would that guy that I spoke to last night be below deck?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I'm gonna try and talk to him and like, hey man, remember what you said last time? Cover your ears. Don't go into the light.
And he
Do you
just
reckon you
doesn't.
could start doing that?
He just completely ignores you. He doesn't pay you any mind. He he's just walking. The singing, the angels are calling me.
Uh, I'm not particularly strong. Would anyone
When they open the
could anyone
door,
hold this guy down?
when they
Oh boy.
open the
I'm
door,
gonna look
there
away.
is an extreme brightness out there, almost as if it's daytime.
I'm gonna grab the guy and I'm gonna hold him down. At least I can save one of them.
And he says, "Let me go. I gotta go. I gotta go see the angels. They're calling me."
You gotta get back to your 5 kids and wife, mate. Priorities to this.
Get me some bread. We'll improvise some earplugs.
Okay. I'm gonna rip some cloth, dunk it in water or any kind of liquid, and I'm gonna shove it in his ears.
Hold on a second. I just rolled. Okay. Sorry, I rolled the wrong thing because it was rolled. So he's trying to free himself, and he definitely tries to climb, even though you got him. You know, obviously he doesn't move, but he's definitely trying to climb. Um, Go ahead and roll listen again. See if you can hear anything through your plugs.
Oh boy.
Although probably you won't. No,
Oh,
you don't hear anything. But everything seems to
good.
be awfully calm right now. Arrow, you overhear water noises, almost as if somebody's just falling into the water, like jumping on the water, like jumping off the boat, possibly.
Hmm. I think they're jumping into the water.
Sirens.
If Tim is holding down the guy, I'm gonna go over to the duffel bag, grab Tim's rifle, and hand it to him.
All right, you grab the rifle.
Have
Uh,
he stopped fighting now that we plugged his ears, or
No,
is it okay?
no, because it's
Could
not
you get me
necessarily
the rope?
something that you just listen. It's about your power, your willpower. So while you
Mhm.
guys pass the power roll, he wouldn't have.
right. I'm gonna go and find something to tie him up. Then, will there be any rope
I did
below deck
bring
by the
the rope.
storage? Maybe.
All right, go ahead and roll
What was that?
spy hidden.
What hidden? Nope. Eh.
All right, so you do find some to tie him up. So he goes ahead and he managed to wrestle you while you were holding him down, and he frees himself. And he just runs up there and opens the door. Now the door is open, wide open. And while the door is wide open, it's not necessarily as bright out there anymore.
Okay.
We gotta barricade ourselves in.
You definitely see him coming out as he opens the door and just jumping off the boat onto the water.
Will there be some like empty glass bottle by the kitchen?
Spot hit.
Anything I could fill
Yeah,
with
spot
alcohol
hit.
to make a Molotov?
Spot
Hidden.
hidden. Yep, you
Yes.
find a couple empty glass bottles.
Okay, and I wanna make some Molotov cocktails then, with the moonshine.
Okay. You make some Molotov cocktails. It takes you about 5 minutes to make.
While he's doing that, can I apply some first aid to Jeremiah?
Sure. All right, Jeremiah,
Nice.
roll a 1d3. All right. All right.
Nice.
So you got your Molotov cocktails. He's patched up. So, what's the plan?
It's a great question.
We haven't seen
Um,
anything,
is
right?
it
We've just heard.
Nope, you haven't seen anything. And you haven't heard anything out of the ordinary. Besides people jumping off the boat. Maybe some screaming here and there, but not.
so looking up at the light, would it be as bright as the day was when we left?
No.
Um,
Right now it's nighttime.
oh,
And
so
you
so the
said,
light is gone?
And the light's much, much less bright as it used to be.
Hmm.
so my job is to keep you safe, so I would advise you to not do anything stupid, but then again, do what you gotta do.
I'm gonna call out to the captain, I suppose.
Okay.
John, Captain John.
So you go out. Who else goes out?
No. From below deck, I call
Oh.
out to the captain.
Captain's not answering at the moment.
Well, that's. Oh, so I found rope that was going to be used to tie that guy down.
Mhm.
But I couldn't do that. So instead, I'm going to tie myself to some like railing below deck, and then I'll go check outside.
Okay.
So
No
obviously
problem.
something that looks heavy and sturdy. Yeah.
Sure thing. Yeah. Is anybody else going with him outside?
I gotta make sure that he's safe, so I do. And as soon as I'm outside, I'll try to reach the rope that I left up there.
Well, yeah. Okay. Give me a second. And Arrow, what about your character?
I'm gonna keep an eye on where they're tied to make sure they stay anchored.
Okay, so you're staying down there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you guys get off the door. All right, so you see the following. The captain is laying on the ground, passed out. There is this gigantic creature that seems to look like a gigantic fish in the water, emanating this light. However, it seems to be some sort of type of supernatural type of light. It's got very sharp teeth. And then, when you look at the water, there seems to be mermaids on the water that are ripping apart the sailors and eating them. At the same time, there seems to be hundreds of fish floating around. Go ahead and both of you roll sanity. All right. So go ahead and give me just a one whole thing. Go ahead and give me a 1d7, please. Thank you.
1d7. And oh, oh,
Oh, you
Oh,
guys are lucky. All right.
damn.
So you gotta
we've
take
been
a
extra
deep
lucky
breath.
this.
You take a deep breath. You see the mayhem of the sailors just getting completely ripped apart in the water, and the mermaids just eating them. And then the fish just it has this evil look and this glow to it that seems to be trying attracting everybody, every single mermaid to come and to sing. So what do you do?
I'll quickly go to Richard, make sure he keeps his head down, um, so that none of the mermaids see us. I'll kind of like visually signal to them that the captain below deck, we gotta get them there and stay low.
All right, go
Right.
ahead and roll. Um, Both of you, go ahead and roll stealth.
Okay, this is it for me. Oh, I'm gonna spend 6 luck. Can I do
Okay,
that?
6 luck. All right.
Ah, good.
So
Okay.
you guys managed to quietly make it out of the deck again into the down the stairs.
Oh, while dragging the captain with us, right?
Okay, you're dragging the captain too. Go ahead and roll your strength.
Mm.
All right.
Oh my goodness! I didn't expect
Oh,
to
Had to
pass
be,
that.
had to be cookie. All right. So you drag the captain down. Um, is there anything else you want to do at this point?
If they haven't noticed us, I don't think it's a good idea to poke the hornet's nest.
same. I'll explain the situation to um,
No, most
Jeremiah as
Jeremiah.
definitely.
well.
Are
Most
we gonna?
definitely. I'm not entirely sure how you managed to pass the listening roll. I mean the power roll to now to jump out of the water, and then on top of that, you just lost only 1 point of sanity.
Oh
Well,
yeah, we reduced that.
it's not
I
the
forgot.
first time I've seen people ripped apart. Comes in the line of work, but the mermaids, they're definitely new.
Yeah,
I guess Tim is not really impressed.
yeah. Wow. So
Um,
so what's the plan then?
Are we? Are we gonna try and kill these things? Are we just trying to get back alive? What's the plan here?
Well, my mission is to get Richard back alive, so that's what I'm doing.
I got a camera. Does it have a big flashing light that could attract these things to us? Yes,
Yes.
but we might need some proof to get our pay. Or we could
That,
lie and say that some like the captain is drunk. Though there's already rumors circulating that this guy's the cause of the problems.
You could.
I
There is
mean,
moonshine on board. There is moonshine on board. That this could be
Yeah.
very easy to pin it all on this guy, get him behind bars. That
So
would
we're
mean
gonna
the town
frame.
is what that's what I'm putting on the table. What do we think?
sorry, what did you say, Jeremiah?
So we're gonna frame him. That's the plan.
That would stop people from dying. It would doom the
Yeah, and
town, but
he is still the reason they're dying. He's not directly killing them, but if we tell the truth, they're not going to believe us.
True.
it's a classic trolley problem. One guy could
Yeah.
save hundreds, maybe.
I don't see another solution, to be honest. You weren't up there. You didn't see what they were doing to the sailors. I don't think 3 people can take on those things.
Considering how many crews have gone missing, yeah, I don't think 3 of us is enough.
Funny how it always seems to be 3 people who make it out alive.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. But hey, you know what? That's roll 20 for you in the rolls. So. All right. So then what's the plan? Are you guys doing anything, or are you guys just waiting it out? What?
I think
I think we
we're
waited out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you waited out. All right. So not too long after that, I want to say within 5 minutes, everything clears up. The captain wakes up, and he's a little confused that he is inside of the ship. It's like, where are we? Where am I? I thought I was praying to God. I'm pretty sure I saw God. He came. He told me he was giving us the fish. Where's all the fish? Did the sailors get it?
they're gone.
Your sailors are dead.
What?
Um,
Where are they?
they were thrown off board by your reckless driving.
But we were stopped.
You and your vices have doomed countless sailors, and I'm gonna open one of the Molotov cocktails. I'm gonna rip off the cloth, and I'm gonna splash it on his clothes.
Wait, what are you doing?
Um,
This was just washed last night.
I think there's been enough people that have had to suffer your crazy sacrifices. Or I was sticking to the other story. You know what? You're summoning some weird eldritch fish, some weird spooky fish, like an angler thing. Uh, I think it's enough.
But I'm just simply talking to God. God is providing the fish for us. I am sure if I go out there, I can prove it to you. I can show you the fish. It's all gonna be around the boat. We just gotta collect it. We can feed the whole town.
And kill how many hundreds? No, this has to stop. And by the power invested in me by the U.S. government, I'm gonna restrain you.
The government?
Oh.
What do you mean
I'm
the
an
government?
off-duty soldier. Turn around.
How are we gonna get back? You don't know how to work a ship.
We'll figure it out.
Skull point.
All right.
That's fair.
Can't be that hard.
All right. As obviously, the captain will not fight you because ultimately he's just one man. But that will be the end of the campaign. Ultimately, you know, you will definitely frame the captain and manage to get back eventually, maybe without the fish, but manage to get back and probably make the call to Arkham to where they will send reinforcement and take the guy and then take you back to Arkham. And that's that for today. So make sure that you roll your improvements